I hope you have heard about this animation, Rango, a masterpiece which was made a decade ago. The whole story is about a lizard as a sheriff, which is going to save the lawless town. Hi guys, how things going? I hope you're doing well. So, in this video, we will have a new method. Despite the previous contents that we created, we played the fewer scenes but longer. But in this video, we will have the more scenes but shorter. So our method is really simple. You will watch the clip with subtitles, and then I'll be teaching you the many things, the expressions, idioms, words, and blah blah to expand your vocabularies. So, if you want to understand your favorite TV movies without getting lost, without missing the jokes, and without subtitles, so please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell not to lose any single video. Let's get started!
Hark! Who goes there? 'Tis I, the much-anticipated hero returning to rescue his emotionally unstable maiden. Unhand her, you jailers of virtue, or taste the bitter sting of my vengeance.
The sting of my vengeance. Alright, so what this lizard is doing with that sword in his hands and threaten someone's in his imaginations is generally called saber rattling. So, saber rattling is threat or display of military forces. When some military forces are going to stop fighting together, first they try to use some exaggerating words to threaten each other or act in a way to freak out each other. So, basically, it's called saber rattle.
Hero? I mean, who else is better qualified to bask in the adulation of his numerous companions?
Did you hear what that lizard said? He said to bask in something. So, to bask in something is an first all verb, which means to take pleasure from something that makes you feel good. It somehow means you enjoy something or you get a kick out of something. To get a kick out of something is an expression that which is used whenever you enjoy something. For example, I have been on a trip and I want to say my feelings about that trip in this way. I enjoyed that trip because that was so enjoyable. I got a kick out of that trip. And finally, I basked in that trip. So these all are similar and you can use them.
People, I've had an epiphany. The hero cannot exist in a vacuum. What our story needs is an ironic, unexpected event that will propel the hero into conflict.
Epiphany is like a sudden moment when something clicks in your brain and you finally get it. Imagine you've been trying to solve a puzzle for ages, and out of nowhere, you see the missing piece, and it all makes sense. It's that instant realization that hits you out of the blue, making everything clear and changing how you see things.
We can't get it all
None of that civil disobedience in my town. Thank you very much.
Civil disobedience is when people purposely break certain laws peacefully and non-violently to protest against something they believe is unfair or unjust. It's a way for them to make a statement and push for change without using violence.
All right, listen up. I've been thinking, and I believe I've figured something out. You folks have a water problem.
Listen up. All right. You use listen up Whenever you are in a situation that you have to make a speech for a group of people and you need to grab their attention, you say, hey, listen up, guys. You want them to pay attention to you. So this is pretty easy. And he says, I figured something out. So let me tell you some similar expressions for I figured something out. So the first, I find it out. I found something out. I understood. All right, this is the meaning of it. And I got my head around something. Or I wised up to something. All right, these all mean I understood something. And he says, you folks have water problem. You folks here and basically means people. You people have water problem.
Why, you're just as dried up and parched as a jackrabbit in July.
To be dried up in something. All right. It generally means to be exhausted, depleted, or lacking in that particular thing. For example, if someone says they are dried up in ideas, it means they have run out of ideas or creativity. If someone is dried up in motivation, it means they no longer feel motivated or inspired. The phrase conveys a sense of having no more resources, energy, or enthusiasm left in that area.
The mayor has bought up all the land in the valley, except for your ranch, Miss Beans.
That just don't make no sense. Without water, that land is useless.
Unless he controls the water. Like a monkey's bladder. Then he could bring it back once he's bought up all the land.
To control something. He said, to control the water. All right, I'm gonna tell you some similar expressions and phrasal verbs for controlling something. So, keep in check. Keep in check. For example, you have to keep your expenditures in check. Or, for example, hold something in check. You have to hold your words in check. You should think before you speak. So, you should hold your words in check. You should keep your words in check. All right, keep something under control. Keep something under control. All right, you should keep your decisions under the control. It's important to keep the situation under the control. All right, to, for example, avoid something bad. All right, this is so easy to understand it. All right, let me tell you more. For example, to have a handle on something. You have a handle on the situation. It means that you try to take it over. You try to control. To take something over means you control it. You try to keep it in check. All right. So you try to keep something under your thumb. When you keep something under your thumb, it means that you try to control it. For example, your boss has to keep you employees under his thumb to make you work more. All right. So the next one is to keep tabs on something. All right. For example, it's my job to keep tabs on the company's financial performance. All right. So it means that it's my job to monitor everything or keep control over everything about the company's financial performance.
Land.
But how does he control the water?
Well, you gotta spend some time and train them. Because, you know, monkeys, when they do go, you rub their nose in it.
Sheriff, we got a problem.
The sheriff said to rub nose in something. All right, let me tell you what it means. This means to repeatedly remind someone of a mistake or failure, often in a way that is intended to humiliate or embarrass them. For example, if someone made an error at work, and the colleague keeps bringing it up, they are rubbing their nose in it. Well, for example, we have this expression exactly as similar as the previous one. Run someone's nose in it. This is less common but understood similarly to rub someone's nose in it, emphasizing the act of forcing someone to confront their mistake or failure in a humiliating way. Both expressions convey a sense of making someone feel bad about their mistakes or failures by constantly remind them of it.